everybody. My name is Sue Sarek, and I am the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade English Language Arts teacher here at St. Joe's. This is my 11th year here at St. Joe's, and all my own children were students here at St. Joe's in their elementary years. It just seems like yesterday, and now I have 3 in college, and 1 is a sophomore in high school, so time really does fly. So I see your child for 60 minutes every single day. English Language Arts encompasses a vast amount of topics and areas, so we have a lot to cover every day in English. Some of the topics that we cover, or some of the subjects that we cover, are reading, writing, spelling, grammar, and listening and speaking skills. So, as I said, a lot to cover in ELA. Some of the things that I am thinking that you may want to know are where to find homework, where to look for grades or missing work, and also what kind of homework your child may have. So I'm going to try to walk you through all of those things on here. First of all, where can your child find their homework? So the best place to look for homework is on the homework calendar. Now, I have just brought up the 7th grade homework calendar, but 6th and 8th grades look exactly like this, and they all have a homework calendar, and I will be listing ELA homework every single day on that homework calendar. So your child can go to their homework calendar, or you can go to the homework calendar. If you click on ELA, up pops a little description of what their homework is. And you can see other subject areas have their homework on here as well, and you could click on theirs as well to see that assignment. So the homework calendar is the most reliable place for your child to find their homework. Now, as a 7th grade homeroom teacher, I sent a link to the homework calendar in an email last week. Also, I have a link to the homework calendar on the ELA Google Classroom pages for all the grades. So I will show you that in a little bit when I show you an example of a Google Classroom page. But the homework calendar is the most reliable place to find out what homework assignments are. Okay? And really, I want to say about the homework calendar, it's really important that your child is responsible for checking the homework calendar, especially as they're getting older. It's important for them to start taking responsibility for all of their own work. So this is a good place to check. Also, their planner is something that they should be using. If you're wanting to check grades or check to see if your child has any missing work, the best place is to go to TADS or to Educate TADS. EducateTADS.com is the site, and you should have your own username and password that you can put in here. I really encourage the kids to also be checking this themselves. They can be checking their grades, they can be checking to see if they have any missing work, and they would just need to get the username and password from you because I don't have that information. But you can, again, missing work or grades can be found on Educate TADS. That's the place to look for that. I also have a link to Educate TADS on the Google Classroom pages. So that's another place to look for that, which I'm going to show you an example of that right now. So your child, in order to go to Google Classroom, you will need to get your child to sign in to their Google Classroom account. And when they do that, they'll see something similar to this. They would click on the little waffle up here, all these dots, and they can get to their Gmail. They can, any work that they have been working on would be in their drive. Here's a calendar, which would bring them to their homework calendar. And here's Google Classroom. So they would click on their Google Classroom. And this is my Google Classroom page. So these are the classes that I have, but they would have all of their classes would show up in this way. Their math, social studies, science, music, it all will show up like this. So I'm just going to go to the 7th grade Google Classroom page just as an example, but all of my ELA pages are really set up the same. So they'd go into classwork. The first topic here is classwork homework, and if I gave an assignment that I wanted them to do on Google Classroom, or if I had material that I wanted them to look at, it would be posted here. Now I want you to know that I would also indicate on the homework calendar that they should check Google Classroom so that they know to go there. So that would be indicated on the homework calendar or during class, and probably both. So here is that. I also have some links on this page. Here's the link to the homework calendar. This is the 7th grade one, but I have it the same way for 6th and 8th. So again, they click on that and that brings them to their homework calendar. Here is a link to Accelerated Reader. And on Accelerated Reader, if you click on that, that brings them to the sign-in page. I will talk about Accelerated Reader in a little bit. I also have, here is that link to TADS Educate. If you or they are wanting to check grades, there's a link to TADS Educate here on the Google Classroom page. And I have a link to their grammar book, Voyages in English. This really would be used if they have a grammar test and want to review. There are some games that they can play on there. And then I have a link to AR Book Find. This is if they're looking for a book that they want to read. They can put in, well, they would say they're a student, and then they can put in information about their interest and their reading level. And this helps them find some titles of books that would work for them, and also how many points those books would be worth on an accelerated reader test. All right, also I have weekly spelling lists here. So every week I post the spelling lists. There are 3 lists. Your child will be on one of these lists, and that's determined by the pretest that they take on the first day of the week. So they would just be on one of these 3 lists. And this is the same for 6th and 8th grade as well. Okay, there are spelling lists listed each week. Finally, at the bottom, I have some classroom resources. First of all, I have a syllabus. And again, this is the 7th grade syllabus, but it's very similar to 6th and 8th. And on each of their Google Classroom pages, it is listed. It just kind of talks about different procedures and the books that we use for each class. I have a link to the 7th grade homework calendar on this syllabus. You can find that there. And really your child should have brought home actually a hard copy of this, and you should have signed it as an assignment. But if not, you can find it here. You can find information here, and it'd be great if you printed that off and had your child bring it back in signed. Okay. I also have a link to book reviews. So I'll talk about book reviews in a little bit, but I have these forms in the classroom, and I also have them on the Google Classroom page so that they can print them off and get them here. And then finally, I have a link to the request to retest form. So if they want to retake a test, they just print this off and fill out this form, and then they can retake their test if it is below a 70%. Okay, so that's the Google Classroom page. And again, I'm using 7th grade as an example, but 6th and 8th grade are very similar. So what can you expect for homework in ELA? So first of all, as I said, it does cover a lot of areas. So there you can expect homework every day in language arts. There will usually be a daily reading assignment. There will be a grammar assignment daily, usually like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. And then there will also be a weekly spelling assignment. So every week they have a spelling unit due, unless we have 3 or fewer days that week. The spelling lessons are always due every last day of the week. So Friday usually, but if we don't have school on Friday, it would be a Thursday. And then the spelling test is that day too. So you can expect that every single week, and so can your child. So spelling weekly. So those are the most consistent assignments. Then they also are required to have accelerated reader points. They have accelerated reader goals. I determine those through their STAR reader test that they take at the beginning of every trimester. And what happens is they read some books outside of class, and then they take an accelerated reader test on them, and they can earn points. And they try to reach their goal by the end of the trimester. The novels that we read in class can be used for accelerated reader tests as well. Okay, and then also on the books that they read outside of class, not one that we read as a class, they are required to do a book review every trimester. So these are due at the end of the trimester, but your child can turn them in any time that they want. And then they would be finished with it for the trimester. Again, those forms can be found here on Google Classroom, or they can be found in the classroom. I'm just going to show you on the syllabuses. I did put the dates that those book reviews are due. And let's see, it's right here. So November 24th, the first one is due for trimester 1. But again, they can turn those in anytime during the trimester. All right, I think that just about covers all of the information for ELA. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me, reach out with any questions or concerns that you have, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So I look forward to a great year in English Language Arts, and it's really been great to be back in class with all of your kids. So I look forward to the rest of the year being just as good. Thank you.